The season has gone well, almost perfectly up until this point. Just tell us, what's happened tonight? You've got two very unhappy drivers.
Yeah, it's very, very confusing. I mean, to have dropped the amount of pace that we have, the car's just not responding to changes. You can hear this understeer, oversteer, braking issues. It's like we haven't managed to get the tyre into the right working window. Usually when you see a gap that big, it's because the tyre isn't just, fundamentally working. Now, we've tried different things with setup, we've tried different preparations, and it's just not happened. So a lot for us to understand tonight, to try and turn around, and obviously very, very tough for us to make good progress from those grids tomorrow, but we'll certainly be trying very hard.
Obviously, I understand you guys have made a lot of changes here on the weekend, but what changed coming into the weekend? Because the delta between where you've been and where you are right now is really large. So did something change?
Well, the car that we have here for qualifying is essentially the identical car that we had 2 weeks ago in Monza and a week before that in Zandvoort. So
it's nothing to do with the technical directive that came out. Nothing to do with that.
Nothing's changed on the car. So we tried a new aero part on Friday. We thought, okay, we'll revert on that component. It's a tried and tested setup that we have, but it just hasn't responded on this circuit, on this asphalt. Now, trying to get the tyres to get into the window has been very, very hard for both drivers. So we'll see tomorrow. I mean, we won't give up on anything, but starting outside the top 10 at a track that's really hard to overtake at, we've got quite a lot on.
Yeah, Christian, obviously last year it was a struggle to progress. Verstappen obviously not getting through qualifying just in the way that he would have liked to. What can you do tomorrow with that car? The drivers look unhappy. That's not going to change overnight with extra fuel. What's your procedure for tomorrow?
I think first of all, put the disappointment behind us. Focus on there's a reason behind everything. It's to try and understand what's caused the lack of performance today. Obviously, we're limited on what we can do for tomorrow. Maybe some rain around as well. Safety cars, you just don't know. So we don't give up on anything. We'll keep fighting all the way to the end. But this weekend certainly thrown up some challenges so far.
You guys come off with miraculous things. I mean, I think even Spa, listening to Max say, well, let's just do a practice pit stop. I'll just go so fast that let's just do a practice pit stop. What can you pull off tomorrow?
I think, first of all, we've got to pull off the car. We've got to get that hopefully into a better window with obviously limited changes that we can make going into the race. But we've had the most incredible run, with the most incredible season so far. This car has been by far the best car that we've ever produced, and for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked today. So we'll be looking to try and turn that around tomorrow.
Just going between the difference between the third practice session and qualifying and it appearing to go backwards, and you mentioned when you had an interview with Rachel about having to tweak the software with regards to upshifts and downshifts. Is there anything more you can do with that in Parc Ferme? Is it that the problem?
No, it's nothing. The downshifts, I think they were a lot better for Mac. They tuned the software and they seem to be working much better. I think suddenly Q1 he goes to the top of the timesheets after the first run, and then thereafter, really, once he got into Q2, it was the car's bottoming, the drivers are unhappy, and issues that we hadn't had in that first session, and we were completely out of the window.
Okay, you think there may be some penalties as well to contend with? There's impeding with the stewards. I think there's 2 or 3 now. One at the end of the pit lane with George Russell, one turn 4 with Yuki Tsunoda. What's your take on those?
It's been a top day so far. The one in the pit lane, we've seen hundreds of examples of drivers driving slowly out the pit lane. I think even George slot behind us in the pit lane, or certainly very slow coming out. So I don't really see that's an issue. The Tsunoda one, I think there was enough space up the inside to for him. Having looked at the replay, I think that's marginal, and I think the Sergio one was also part of. I mean, there was so much going on there. There was half the grid down there. So, I mean, let's see. That's with the stewards, but when it doesn't rain here, it pours usually, and that's what we've had today.
Final question, Christian. Without getting too much into, disregarding this weekend. Are you worried ahead of Japan if you don't fully understand the issues at this point? Do you think it's track specific here, either the tarmac, the tyres, or the corners that we have? Do you think Japan's going to be a worry as well because you just don't understand? Or
look, we have an amazing team. We wouldn't have won every single Grand Prix this year. I think 22 out of the last 23 if without that. So we'll get on top of these issues, and we will try and get on top of them for tomorrow, and work hard. We haven't written this weekend off yet. The points are scored at the end of the evening tomorrow night, so we'll do everything we can in the Grand Prix tomorrow, and then see where we are, and then focus on Japan on Sunday night.
Thanks for talking to us, Christian.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming out and being so candid. Let's go to the sky.